All right, what's up, folks? JB Rants Sunday. So I'm here. Let's see what I got. I keep getting alerts. Oh, that last alert was actually that I went live. Thank you for letting me know. But I do have some things that we can view. I think at a certain point I'm going to be covering the tornado outbreak. We'll see what that is. But I've got something pretty interesting here. So as is my constant struggle, I am going to attempt to share screen. Once again, present, share screen, share screen. Okay, good. All right. I'll be right back, folks. Nice. Found it. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. It's almost like I finally figured this fucking stuff out. Hit play. Go.
Psychiatric evaluation immediately. Not a doc, but symptoms sound like paranoid schizophrenia. Best have him checked and treated. User Charming Roof 7990 makes a concerning post on r/mental health Philippines. Spouse thinks he's being targeted. My husband, 32, has been going on for the past year that he's being gang stalked. It's really annoying because he can't go one day without saying that I, 30-year-old female, is gang stalking him. He even goes as far as saying that our daughters 12 and 8 are in on it. He believes there's people attacking him with, quote, energy weapons, and that pretty much everyone everywhere is in on it. He can be driving and anyone who has a headlight that doesn't work is in on it. Any car alarm that goes off or sirens are supposedly to get him annoyed. Apparently, he's part of a group of people known as targeted individuals that are being tracked on an app that everyone has so that they know when the targeted...
I've got this person, Sunil Sharma, saying, do you recall our association? Yeah, because you were probably one out of the, well, back when YouTube was fair, which was almost never, but back when YouTube was fair, in 2015, 2016, I considered about 10 people that I had relations with via the internet. And Sunil Sharma was one of them. Of course I remember you, and welcome back. I keep doing videos and I keep getting banned. So then I just forget about it for like a year or 6 months. But I'm back. So hit play, go.
Targeted individuals are nearby. I'm really, really tired of it. It has consumed his life, which has now consumed mine. I'm tired of being called a perpetrator. I can't even cough, sneeze, or scratch my nose without him making some dumb remark about me doing it to gangstalk him. Is anyone going through the same thing with their significant other? Any advice on how to handle this?
In Puerto Rico, we call ourselves Boricua, a unique name honoring the vibrant spirit of our...
There is an immense amount of posts that you'll find on Reddit, 4chan, X, Facebook, and endless websites dedicated to gangstalking. Gangstalking is a worldwide phenomena, a rabbit hole hiding in plain sight, with allegations of paid actors that not only follow victims wherever they go, but perform organized routines to cause inconvenient coincidences, something victims call street theater. Claims of non-consensual surgical implants installed into a person's body that allow gangstalkers the ability to track, monitor, and even control the actions of a victim. And if you think that's strange, well, you haven't seen anything yet. See, you are currently looking at what the site targetedjustice.com claims to be microwave burns. These alleged microwave burns supposedly radiate from devices that gangstalkers install in different areas of one's living space, even from a toilet.
It's September the 10th, 2024, and the back of my legs are getting targeted for frequencies emitting from my toilet right here. This bottom stem part.
These photos and videos are concerning, and it still gets darker.
There's technology that can project sounds and voices into a person's head who is targeted for such psychological torture. That's what happened to me.
Victims of gangstalking call themselves targeted individuals, or TIs for short, and they believe that they are at the center of a mass surveillance and torture campaign meant to slowly break them down. Until
if I can help another targeted individual fight back against telepathy, then the sacrifice will be well worth it. To any TIs who read this, understand that your attackers use the form of ventriloquism I describe in the paper to move your thoughts. The most horrific weapon ever made is being used on human beings. And if you ever learn the truth, you will understand what I did here to protect myself and my family.
November 20th, 2014. It's a day many will never forget in Tallahassee and beyond.
Hit pause.
Started out as an...
Hit pause. See, here's why, and what up, Sunil, again. Here's why I know other people are going to be filtering in at a certain point. But here's why I'm a great host of a YouTube show and also a horrible host. Obviously, let's go over the great first. The reason why I'm great is all of these claims and the information provided in this documentary that we're all watching together right now, all of these claims and data points, I know in spades. And I can break them down into every microscopic detail. I can take you through every single one of them and what they mean and how it interrelates to the New World Order and the agenda that's going on. The reason that I'm a horrible host is when I start doing that, I end up interrupting myself and not letting the content just speak for itself. So what I try to do is ride the midline, sit on the fence, and in the chat, if people have specific questions, I'm able to answer them. So that's wherein lies my strength, I believe. But with all that being said, as sort of a, what do they call it? A disclaimer, hit play, go.
The night of studying in a college library turned to tragedy because of one man, Myron May. May believed he was a victim of gang stalking.
Gang stalking is an umbrella term describing a series of techniques utilized by a group to instill mental instability within a victim, with the intent to discredit, sabotage, harass, extort, and even drive a victim to unalive. A victim of gang stalking can have their reputation, credibility, careers, relationships, and entire life put into ruins. Techniques such as mind games, perception manipulation, organized stalking, covert harassment, constant surveillance, and possibly electronic harassment are used to push a victim to mental instability. Proving one's targeting can be very challenging, and there is very little law enforcement support, which allows gang stalking to be extremely effective.
Electronic harassment, synthetic telepathy, voice-to-skull technology. Chances are you haven't heard of these terms.
How much more can you invade me than to go into my brain?
It sounds like somebody else is reading the book, only it's thoughts.
We're not having a group hallucination. This is actually something that's happening.
They're called directed energy weapons. These weapons use microwave technology, particle beams, sound beams, and other methods to control, damage, induce schizophrenic experiences, and even kill. You'll often hear targeted individuals refer to something called voice-to-skull messaging, or by its acronym, V2K. Voice-to-skull technology can cause victims to hear voices and other audio inside of their own head, completely inaudible to anyone else. You may hear mentions of remote neuromonitoring, which is a form of functioning neuroimaging, allegedly developed by the NSA.
I've actually never said this before, but I just had this thought. And this is a very, very, how do I put this? Not a narcissistic thought, because my number one enemy are narcissists. It's a very, it sounds like a very egotistical thought, but I think it's a true thought. If you aren't a targeted individual, chances are you're not that important. I just wanted to say that. I know I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm just saying. Hit play, go.
This is a device capable of accessing and decoding thoughts without a person's knowledge or consent. You may even hear mentions of synthetic telepathy, which is where two brains can communicate with each other just by thinking. This is achieved through an intermediary, such as a computer. Targeted individuals allege that they are under the control of these directed energy weapons. They believe they are the guinea pigs of this mind control technology that's being implemented all around the world in covert programs, sort of like an MKUltra 2.0. But is there any proof that these weapons are real? Is there any evidence at all? Well, as it turns out,
they want to see if they can manipulate people to do things that are irrational, but also walk them to their death.
There's plenty of it. Okay, just because directed energy weapons exist doesn't mean they are actually being used on unsuspecting individuals. But you can clearly begin to see the complexity and sensitivity of this subject. While researchers state that gang stalking as a phenomenon,
yes, this technology is being used. Yes, this technology is being used on unsuspecting individuals. You stupid documentary maker, 23-year-old coffee drinking motherfucker.
phenomena is due to mental illness. Targeted individuals insist that they are victims. So, what organization is behind the program? Who are the alleged gang stalkers? Well, isn't it obvious? Government agencies, law enforcement, the military, insurance companies, the CIA, the FBI.
Has anyone else, maybe I'm the only one. Oh, shut up. Maybe I'm the only one. Has anyone else wanted to, like, be invited to that room? The chair, the Council of Six, the Council of Nine. And they go, yeah, this is what we're really doing to society. We've been doing it for thousands of years. And of course, everything is secrecy and all kinds of nonsense that we feed the public. Of course that exists. What, you didn't know that? You wouldn't be invited here if you didn't know that, Jason. Something like that. I'm just being a silly goose. Hit play, go.
FBI, pharmaceutical companies, secret societies, homeland security, criminal organizations are just a few examples of alleged gang stalkers. In fact, there's a whole category of targeted individuals who identify as chosen ones. Chosen ones believe that they were chosen by God to walk an appointed spiritual path. They believe that they must prove themselves worthy or able to overcome challenges put forth by demonic entities in order to protect their unique spiritual gifts. They believe that demons appear in their life, often in the form of people, and they must stay on their spiritual path. Chosen ones.
Pause. That claim that you just heard, very true, not imaginary. Hit play, go.
May blame sickness or negative emotions on black magic, witchcraft, and other spiritual attacks. Now, moving on from chosen ones, the most popular culprit of alleged gang stalking is some type of government agency. The idea that the government is practicing mass surveillance isn't anything new or surprising. With news headlines in the media every couple of years highlighting whistleblowers that have come forth to allege that our phones, computers, and other devices can be hacked to watch and monitor individuals.
Pause.
Pause.
I've actually, this is a lot of times when I make these live streams, I haven't seen the video. I've actually watched this one, not the full way through. So I've watched it about, I don't know, halfway, and we're not even close to halfway yet. But when these people make claims, how do I say this without getting fucking in trouble on YouTube? When I used to go out a lot and would meet people outside of bars and stuff, smoking cigarettes, right? And just talking our ears off. And people used to say this stuff. I've been a conspiracy researcher since I was 19. So 21 bars, but not a lot because I lived at home. And then, 24 through now, I don't go out anymore really now, but that 12-year period, mid-20s to mid-30s, when I would speak to folks, in my early stages of that, I would go, well, yeah, 9/11, yeah, Sandy Hook, but you think you're being individually targeted? Like I wouldn't say it to them that way in like an arrogant fashion like I just did there. But I would sort of look at them with a discerning eye, I'd be like, really? You know, and kind of prod them a little bit. And now, when I see the things that have happened in my life, and even to an extent of those around me, I'm just like, yeah, I believe everyone. I'm like, yes, of course that happens. And of course that did happen to you. And it's very directed and very purposeful, and it needs to be investigated and talked about and brought out into the open. Period. Hit play. Go.
I think we ought to sort of accept the possibility. I mean, considering that the internet was invented by DARPA, a government agency, who as of 2021 has a mission statement to, quote, make pivotal investments in breakthrough technologies for national security. On top of that, the touchscreen on your phone, the voice recognition.
Sunil says a targeted individual faces problems. Resolve to remain unaffected is a personal choice. Once you notice it, it fucks you up, in my opinion. I mean, I was at, call this general, and here's what's crazy about this whole thing. This is why I love covering subject matters such as this. Is I'm a paranoid person. I've always been a paranoid person. It's born out of childhood abuse and just bullying and not trusting government, and then learning what I've learned over the years and putting what do they say? 1 and 2 together equals 3. 1 together equals whatever. Putting the pieces together. I'm a naturally paranoid person. So I'm at the grocery store earlier today, and I see someone parked. So there's the fire lane like this, right outside the doorway, the protective fire parking only in emergency services. And I see this fucking guy wearing sunglasses like this, staring at me, parked perpendicular into the fire lane outside the door. So my rational brain says, oh, he's probably waiting to pick up an elderly person, and if the cops come and tell him to leave, he's going to back up and move to another spot and then go pick up the elder. That's what my brain starts doing. But then the conspiracy side of my brain starts going, is this person following me? And right when I think that, he picks up his sunglasses like this and is staring at me. I mean, staring at me, dead in the eyes. I didn't change my walk. I didn't change my gait nor my body language. I did none of that. I just walked out with my, bag of groceries, went to my car, whatever. But that was weird. And I noticed that. And I've had hundreds of those experiences over the years. Hit play, go.
The microphone, the GPS, the microprocessors, the batteries for those microprocessors, the wireless technology, that was all created by DARPA. Now, DARPA technology is said to be 20 years ahead of civilian technology. Now, I'm not alleging that the government...
I know we only have one person watching right now, Sunil, but for those who watch this later, or if YouTube leaves it up and people watch it later, for those who don't know, DARPA is Defense Advanced Research Project Agency. And in my opinion, they're behind most of the drones that people are seeing in the skies. Hit play.
...is watching you. I'm saying that the concept isn't that strange. In fact, by 2018, the Monmouth Polling Institute found that 82% of respondents voiced that they believe that the government is watching the actions of American citizens. But gang stalking goes far beyond just being watched and listened to. When researchers conduct gang stalking case studies, the requirement for a case to be considered gang stalking is that there must be at least 3 individuals involved. The group must conspire to stalk, harass, or threaten a victim, and must be organized with a clear purpose. By these qualifications, As long as there's more than 3 or more people involved, it's gang stalking. And if it's not some government agency, often corporate organizations are also accused of this nefarious activity.
This is a liver killer. This is a liver killer. And this is a liver killer. Here are 5 signs your liver is.
I want to preface this by saying that I do not condone the harassment of any individual. I wasn't going to mention this story, but this individual has voiced that she would want her story shared. There are some allegations in this story that are simply that, allegations. Please do not attempt to contact any individual mentioned in this video. These attacks are happening to me, Ella Gorla, because I was a whistleblower while an executive director at MAC Cosmetics and Estee Lauder companies. If these things are happening to me, they can happen to anybody. Ella Gorla is a co-founder.
Can someone either do this in the comments later if they end up watching this video, or I can obviously Google it myself and do discernment, but I just had this thought. What is the difference between an allegation and an indictment? Let me rephrase that, because I'm sure the legal books actually say that's not what I really wanted to ask. What I really want to ask is, what is the difference between an eyewitness account and an allegation? Hit play. Go.
And CEO of 25BWB, a beauty company promoting racial diversity within the beauty industry. Educated and acclaimed for what she has accomplished within her field, at one point being named Inc. magazine's 11 leaders to watch in 2011.
Her name is Ella Gorla. Now, Time Inc. called her website one of New York City's top 10 startups, and the fashion world has fallen in love with her site, iella.com.
Ella was active on different social media sites, one of which being Instagram, making posts regularly. Her posts showed off her various accomplishments, news articles, motivational quotes, and more. All normal content for any Instagram user to be posting. She even made a post celebrating the fact that she got accepted into seminary school. Things, however, took an unexpected twist on April 19th, 2021. Gorla makes a post with the following message. I'm sharing this because I have no choice. My life is in danger. It's as if someone has chosen to sacrifice me with absolute no regard for my hopes and dreams. I'm stunned to have to write this, especially at a time when I should be celebrating admission to seminary school. I'm pleading with you to please share and contact the Manhattan DA to investigate, or anyone you know. I do not trust my own sister in the city. It's heartbreaking and sad. God will prevail. Ella goes on to claim the following. Wednesday, April 14th, around 8:30 p.m., someone leaked the gas into the apartment I was temporarily leasing. My face became tingly, I got dizzy, my pulse elevated to 130. I barely made it out the door. It nearly killed me. I believe the gas was carbon monoxide. Fire department, NYPD, and EMS was called. A week prior, April 8th, the building claimed they had to replace a carbon monoxide detector. I resisted, but they insisted. The 2 men that came to replace it looked more like security agents than technicians. I was very uncomfortable. Ella goes on. After the incident at the apartment, I went to a hotel in the city. Again, an odorless, tasteless gas was leaked into the hotel room I was staying in. Similar symptoms, dizziness, accelerated heart rate. I was terrified. I knew I was being targeted. The day prior, I noticed a very strange guy on my floor when I left my room. I notified the front desk and had the hotel attendant escort me back to my room. Ella claims that she was being targeted and that someone was out to harm her, making a follow-up post in which she states, "Someone is trying to kill me. I would never harm myself. I need protection. Please share this message." Over the next several days, Ella goes on to post what she claims to be video/photo evidence.
The Bali Breathe collection is available at Kohl's. The new collection features everyday bras, underwear, and shapewear that provide breathable comfort, lightweight support, and beauty.
I don't understand why they.
But why don't you guys go in the room and stay in there for 5 minutes? But if anyone can stay in there for 5 minutes, because you're firemen, right? You're supposed to do the right thing. Yes, but you know something is wrong. That's why you can't stay in there for 5 minutes. Okay, shame on you. Shame on you. You're firemen. You're supposed to be saving lives, not covering stuff up. I'm supposed to go to seminary school. I just got accepted to Princeton Seminary. I'm supposed to go in the fall. And people are pretending like I'm crazy.
2 days after the original post about the gas leak, Ella makes a post about blood sacrifices taking place within the music and media industry. She believes that she herself had been offered up as a blood sacrifice. She claimed there was a cover-up, alongside claiming that the police refused to take a report, the fire department refused to investigate, media outlets were refusing to cover the events, and going as far to say that her bank accounts were frozen and her PIN changed. Eventually, Ella goes on to give her reasoning as to why she believes she was being gang-stalked. All because I had the audacity to stand up for the rights of Black women at Estee Lauder. Ella continues to post content to this day, being quite active on Instagram and TikTok. Most of her uploads consist of her attempting to document evidence. She posts information about targeted individuals and about the directed energy weapons that are allegedly being used to torture victims around the world. She states that she will not be silenced, and these beliefs are echoed all across the internet. There is a relentless online movement dedicated to documenting and exposing evidence of gang stalking. From online communities, dedicated websites, to entire YouTube channels, there is no shortage of disturbing photo and video evidence. Now, I'm not gonna lie, most of it really isn't evidence. Most of it is just targeted individuals walking up to random people and accusing them of being perps, short for perpetrators.
Here's a freaking satanic perp right here. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, you do. You know exactly who I am. Fuck. Yeah, see how they play dumb? Fuck. Right? They play dumb, right? You know exactly where I live. You know exactly who I am. Yeah, I know you don't. Look at this. You see this shit? Where do you live? You see this stuff, guys? Look at them all. How many more cars you need to see? Eh? Look at them all. You see this shit, though? There it is, right? There it is, guys.
That's not to say that there isn't some interesting, well, more so disturbing posts. A user by the name HopefulWar9584 makes an odd post on r/V2K-Truth, a subreddit where self-described victims of voice-to-skull technology post their experiences and alleged evidence. Please, targets, look for these implants in your ears. These implants cause the voices in your head and mimic schizophrenia. The user goes on to post the following photos. Also, as a side note, the text on these photos were added by the user, not by me. And also, these pictures are the inside of an ear canal, which isn't really graphic, but just a warning. What's most interesting to me is that when you look at these posts, photos, and videos, more often than not, you'll see comment after comment, not only encouraging the gang stalking narrative, but comments claiming that they too are victims. There is something called the Bader-Meinhof phenomena. It's a frequency bias. This is where you become aware of something for the first time, be it a word, a dog breed, a brand, or what have you, and suddenly you are seeing that thing everywhere. Sometimes people call this blue car syndrome. So when you start looking into gang stalking tactics, you may begin to notice them everywhere.
Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about gang stalking, operations and tactics, and some of the schemes they like to use.
There is something called the Truman Show delusion, otherwise known as Truman syndrome or disorder. This is a type of delusion where a person believes that their life is a staged reality show.
A newsflash, the plane's gone down.
My child is on that plane.
I'm sorry. There are no survivors.
There was 165 seats empty. That doesn't strike you as odd.
Threat warnings were practically withheld. We have a right to know. Why is there so much secrecy around this? Your government knew. They all knew.
The truth must be known.
POV. I thought this was the only thing harming my liver.
A lot of people think that alcohol is the only thing that affects their liver, which is scary because everything that we put into our body has to be broken down by our liver. So if you just think about the evolution of our diet, there's a lot of unnatural ingredients that are being added to our food these days. And the liver gets overworked from breaking all of that stuff down. Your whole body starts to slow down. It just can't digest food properly. And then liver damage happens in stages. And up until a certain stage of that damage, it is actually reversible. And there are natural ingredients out there that can really speed up that reversal process. Some of these ingredients might even be sitting right there in your own kitchen. Here we have in this jar that you can think of as your stomach. Now, I'm going to add some olive oil, about 4 ounces or a half a cup. And now I'm going to add equal parts lemon juice and start to stir it up. Now just imagine this is in your stomach, all that oily and acidic combination. It's gonna start to slosh around in there for a while, then it's gonna empty into your small intestine where the acid is going to get neutralized. And to demonstrate that, I'm gonna add some baking soda, which is gonna mimic the pH in the small intestine. Now some more stirring, and now some Epsom salt, same stuff that you would put in your bath. And now once all these things are mixed together inside of your GI tract in your stomach, something starts to happen. It's a chemical reaction called saponification, and it's the same type of ingredients that is used to make soap. This mixture is going to start to get thick and goopy, almost like a sludge. And what's going to happen here is over time, the liquid in the mixture is going to be absorbed by the body, and the reaction continues. The mixture will get thicker and thicker and eventually start to form little pellets. And when you poop those pellets out later, they look something like this. This is what's happening in your body with those flushes. And if you're a believer, when you see these things come out of you, you are going to feel like you just purge some putrid gunk that was stuck inside of you, but it's all fake. Those stones were never in you. They were soap stones made by the ingredients in the flush. You don't need to do a flush. The truth is, your liver is designed to filter and process things naturally. In fact, if you're struggling with stubborn weight gain, uncomfortable or even painful bowel movements, skin issues like acne and rashes, or things like tiny little poops that take an enormous amount of effort to push out, then your liver actually is clogged, and you do need to clear it out, or you will never have a healthy liver. Plus, you'll put yourself at risk for developing a fat-filled liver, which is something that 2 out of every 5 Americans already suffer from. And this is the worst part. The biggest side effect of excess fat in the liver is weight gain in your arms, in your belly, in your chin, all the places where you want it the least. You see, when your liver is clogged, huge amounts of fat are stored in the liver, so much fat that the liver can't function properly. You can think of your liver like this fillet of lean steak. When you have fat marbled in your liver, that lean looking steak, it starts to look something more like this. See how all that fat is infused into the meat? Well, if that's your liver, it's squeezing the cells, literally choking them and blocking your liver from doing its job, which is filtering waste out of your body. So instead of that waste getting cleared out, it gets stored away until your liver is in good enough shape to get rid of it. Now, can you guess where? That excess waste, all those toxins get stored in your fat. That's right, in your thighs, in your lower belly, in your underarms, your face, like your cheeks and your chin. All those stubborn areas where you don't want that extra fat. And here's the thing, most people don't think of their weight gain as a liver problem, but rather as an exercise or a diet problem. And of course, eating right and being active does play an important role in weight loss, but a fatty, clogged liver barely gets any attention, and it is often undiagnosed until it's much too late. And once people do realize that they have a liver issue, then they turn to quick fix solutions like the flushes that I showed you at the beginning. It's ironic because the only thing that has the power to flush your liver is your liver itself. You see, your liver can't actually be flushed in a medical sense. That's why these flushes don't actually work, and they come with the risk of making your problems even worse, like I showed you in the demonstration. Now that's the bad news. The good news is that your liver is one of the most resilient organs in your body. In fact, it's the only organ that you could actually cut a piece off of and it would grow back. You see, your liver already has the ability to cleanse itself all on its own. And if you give me just a few moments of your time, I'll show you exactly how you can help it to do just that, all without the need of a cleanse or any kind of flush. In fact, doing this on a daily basis is better than any popular flush ever could do. But ironically enough, those flushes that you see online, they actually strip your liver of the nutrients that it needs.
Targeted individuals believe something similar, except it's not reality television, but rather an organized killing campaign. Targeted individuals believe that almost every interaction in their daily life is rehearsed and being executed by paid actors and agents. These paid actors employ harassment techniques to keep victims afraid, anxious, sleep-deprived, agitated, and in a constant state of paranoia. Targeted individuals like Myron May claim that there are 2 divisions of gang stalkers: street-level gang stalkers and control panel gang stalkers. Control panel gang stalkers are allegedly in charge of monitoring victims through hacked devices and are also using directed energy weapons such as voice-to-skull technology on victims. Street-level gang stalkers are allegedly in charge of street theater. They are the people in the grocery store, on the highway, at your job. They're all just acting.
It's a gang stalker right there. They do skits. Look at him.
Paid by a shadowy organization to silently harass you and implement methods. Here's the scene. You accidentally drive down the wrong block. You pull into a driveway to turn around and reroute. Your headlights momentarily shine at the window of a house. That's a gang stalking tactic. Having your high beams on as you drive? Well, that's known as brighting harassment, a gang stalking tactic. Driving around with one headlight on, that's one headlight harassment. Scratching your nose or hanging your arm out of a car window, that's hand gesture harassment. You and your friends accidentally matching? That's color coordinated harassment. A lot of same colored cars all in one place? those are all gang stalkers. Ever had a...
Hit pause. Hit pause. I'm okay with... I see, the reason that I chose to share this with my apparently right now non-existent audience is it so hard to believe, all right, when we know that things like this and things like this and things like this and all of the Masonic and other hand signals are deeply used and integral to silent communication between those involved in very, very provable and borderline undeniable secret societies. Why would things like what this, I'm going to call it a documentary, are describing here, the hand out of the car, you know, the arm out of the car, things of that nature, why wouldn't they employ those tactics as well? To my mind, the answer is, of course they would. Of course they would. And it's very factual. Regardless of your opinion, that's what I think. Hit play, go.
Had a green light turn red as soon as you approached it? Gang stalkers. Do you see a lot of helicopters? Those are gang stalkers. Do people cough when you walk by? Gang stalkers. Almost anything can be considered street theater. And even if these tactics were real, they would be extremely petty ones. Targeted individuals claim that's the point. It's a petty campaign, making sure that your day is filled with tiny frustrations so that you're never truly at ease. These alleged tactics are not meant to be secretive. They are meant to let victims know that gang stalkers are watching. It's allegedly a constant reminder that gang stalkers are present. These are some of the most common, but there are many other behaviors that targeted individuals consider psychological harassment. Most alleged videos of gang stalking evidence on the internet contain TIs accusing random people of participating in this street theater.
4 sneaky reasons you can't poop.
Fiber helps you poop, right? Nope. What about...
Excuse me. You with the no lights crew? I see you have one light on. You have one headlight. You know what that means? You're a gang stalker. Yeah. I get stalked by one headlight cars all day and all night.
Included in these petty tactics are noise campaigns. This includes things like honking vehicles or extremely loud modified cars persistently driving past your house, noisy neighbors or neighbors that constantly play loud music, and even electronically produced sounds that mimic animals such as dogs and roosters.
And this is the thing that really piqued my mind to, hey, there's something more going on here. This is kind of crazy. Behind the house, I kept hearing this strange cock-a-doodle-doo noise of like a rooster, but it was the same cock-a-doodle-doo without any variation to it. So it was obvious that it was like a machine and it wasn't a real rooster. And on top of that, it was like from 2 to, it was nonstop, but I noticed it when it was like from 2 to 4 p.m. in the afternoon, which is kind of atypical for a rooster to be crowing nonstop from 2 to 4 in the afternoon.
And of course, there are the voices and sounds that targeted individuals hear inside of their head. But that's for a little later in the video. Allegedly, gang stalkers also practice anchoring, which is a tactic meant to confuse and instill doubt in victims. They do this by setting up scenarios and events that constantly convince targeted individuals that their gang stalking is coming from an unrelated source, such as an ex-boyfriend, an old boss, the police department, and so on. This is done to keep victims playing a never-ending game of who is the gang stalker. There are even more terrifying and intrusive tactics such as black bag operations. This is where gang stalkers secretly break into a victim's house. The gang stalker will then psychologically
POV. After 30 years of marriage, your husband is obsessed with you like never before, thanks to Chuck's surprising secret.
Whoa. Well, hello there.
Drones have been popping up all across New Jersey, New York, and in the East Coast, leaving citizens baffled. They fly mostly at night, and some are being reported as the size of cars. They flock around our military installations and our valuable resources, leaving American citizens worried. Authorities in the FBI claim they have no answers to the phenomenon. They say it's not our military, and they claim it's not a foreign adversary. And they even go as far to state that they are no threat at all, even though they don't know exactly what it is. They lie to the American people, and they lie boldly and often. The truth is, no one trusts them anymore. But now, answers about the drones may have surfaced. The Vegas Cybertruck bomber, Matt Livelsberger, has reportedly left behind an email to retired intelligence officer Sam Shoemate. An email was sent a day before he blew up the Cybertruck and died in front of the Trump Tower. According to the email, if it does indeed belong to him, it harbors answers as to what those drones really are and what our U.S. government is hiding.
As a quick reminder, please make sure you are still subscribed to the channel. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel and give mainstream media the big, fat, friendly middle finger and let them know that you're going to get the real news here on Lisa Haven. And a lot of these conspiracies turn out to be true, and you can get them right here on my channel. Also, give me a big, fat thumbs up on this video as well. And better yet, get to restrictedrepublic.com, subscribe there to get exclusive content. Use the coupon code Lisa and the number 5 to get it for $5 per month. Now, so just what is this mysterious email that was sent to retired intelligence officer Sam Shoemate the day before Matt Livelsberger, the Cybertruck bomber that bombed himself in front of the Trump Tower, sent to Sam Shoemate? What does this email contain, and what message was he trying to send? Well, Sam Shoemate actually went on a podcaster's channel to drop this bombshell, and he went on Sean Ryan's channel. In fact, you can see the entire interview here. I'll leave a link in the description box below. You guys can check it out. But the question therein lies, what was in this email, and was it actually sent from Matt Livelsberger? And quite frankly, new information just came out today hinting that they have evidence, and strong evidence, that it just may have come from Matthew Livelsberger. So what's in this?
I ate his liver with a warm Chianti and made a burger out of it. Liversburger. All right, that was pretty dumb. Hit play, go.
This particular email that was sent to Sam. We'll take a look at that, and I'm going to throw it up on the screen. But here's what it says. It was sent Tuesday, December 31st, 2024 at 10:42 in the morning. This was sent before the entire event transpired, where Matt Livelsberger killed himself there and blew up the Cybertruck. But here's what it says. In case I do not make it to my decision point or on to the Mexican border. I am sending this now. Please do not release this until the 1st of January and keep my identity private until then. First off, I am not under any duress or hostile influence or control. My first car was a 2006 black Ford Mustang V6 for verification. What we have been seeing with drones is the operational use of gravic propulsion systems powered by aircraft by most recently China in the East Coast, but throughout history, the US. Only
just so everyone fucking knows, even people like me have a basic understanding of how these propulsion systems work. And I've been yelling about this crap for about 20 years. So if you have supercooled mercury with a spinning combine, and you have supercooled mercury with an opposite spinning combine, what ends up happening is you can create an intense, allegedly, you can create an intense electromagnetic field disruption. And so therefore, physical matter and speed becomes a non-factor because you can essentially just portal through what appears to be space and time. That's how I understand it. Hit play, go.
Only we and China have this capability. Our OPCEN location for this activity in the box is below. China has been launching them from the Atlantic from submarines for years, but this activity recently has picked up. As of now, it is just a show of force, and they are using it similar to how they use the balloons for Signet and ISAR, which are also part of the integrated comm system. There are dozens of these balloons in the air at any given time. The so what is because of the speed and stealth of these unmanned AC. They are the most dangerous threat to national security that has ever existed. They basically have an unlimited payload capacity and can park it over the White House if they wanted to. It's checkmate. USG needs to give the history of this, how we are employing it and weaponizing it, how China is employing them, and what the way forward is. China is poised to attack anywhere in the East Coast. I've been followed for over a week now from likely Homeland or FBI, and they are looking to move on me and are unlikely going to let me cross into Mexico, but won't because they know I am armed and I have a massive V-bite. I've been trying to maintain a very visible profile and have kept my phone, and they are definitely digitally tracking me. So that kind of gives you an idea. The rest of it, though, goes into a program that was covered up that he took part in and all of that. And I'll let you guys read that on your own. I really wanted to focus on the drones in this broadcast, but he makes a couple points there. First, I want to point out what he means by gravic propulsion systems, right? He's saying that these are the kinds of drones that they are operating. In other words, anti-gravity drones. As far as I know, we don't have this technology. It's not in existence. But according to this email that was dropped, we and China do. Now, I can't confirm that that is the case, right? There's no way to really confirm that unless they come out with it. The second thing that makes this a little bit more viable as an email is he talks about a massive V-bite. What is that? That is basically, putting it very simply, a car bomb, right? Which he did have, obviously, the very next day. He blew up the Cybertruck, a very tragic thing. And by the way, completely wrong what he did. And my heart goes out to the family members on that. But interesting that he gives some background for verification as well onto what that is. Now, what's interesting, and I've got to show you this on top of that, is number one, the mainstream media, the FBI, the DHS, no one has given us any answers on these drones. But the more that I dive into it, the more that I believe not only is it our own United States, say, military contractors, if you will.
This is a purely selfish statement. Should I get one of those awesome boom mic. I'm a musician, by the way, so I know what those mics are. Should I get one of those condenser boom mics on a stand and put it in front of my face, like Lisa Haven, who I love, and like everyone else who I watch? They have those microphones. It obviously sounds at least a little bit better than what our basic computer microphones can sort of record. But I think it makes you look a little more, I think it would make me look a little more professional having professional, can I say that word? Professional. I think it would be hilarious if you guys saw me do a podcast and I had one of those fucking boom mics right there. I think it would be great. I might do it. Hit play, go.
Well, but also I have been screaming that I believe this is a foreign adversary as well. And according to that email, they believe that that is the case. But not only that, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police also dropped a bombshell earlier. Take a look at this. And this is on the Gateway Pundit. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police release the full manifesto from Matthew Livelsberger, right? And they say this was not a terrorist attack. It was a wake-up call. But here's what it says, or what they say was in that information. And for the most part, is just kind of wake up, be aware of what's going on. And I'm not going to read it fully. I'm going to skim through it, right? But it says, we're the United States of America, best country that ever existed. We're headed towards collapse. We're sick. We're crumbling because of lack of respect and morals. We're fat and greedy, and we've consumed everything. And we are cattle to the top 1%. We have strayed from family values, corrupted our minds. We're sitting around dying, no fresh air, nothing, because we're addicted to our screens, to our phones, to processed foods. Our population is too fat to join the military. We are facing war with Russia, China before 2023. And we need to take action if we're going to make it past in one piece. And he says, interesting here, because it says we must end the war in Ukraine with negotiated settlement. I'm going to get back to that. It's the only way. He wants to focus the strength on winning. Masculinity is good, and men should be leaders. Strength is deterrent. Weed out our government and military who do not idolize. Number two, he talks about income inequality in the country, and stop obsessing over DEI, diversity, all of that. And this part, thankfully, we rejected the DEI candidate and we'll have a real president instead of a weekend at Bernie's, which is very unfortunate that we have a weekend at Bernie's president, but he's not wrong there. But basically, he says, let's move on, yada, yada, clear our minds. This isn't a terrorist attack. It's a wake-up call for Americans to pay attention to what's going on. What do I do now? He says one of the reasons that he did what he did is he wanted to cleanse his mind of all the people he lost. Obviously, he's a Green Beret, and he lost a lot of his brothers there. But he goes and he says, rally around Trump, Musk, and Kennedy, and yada, yada, time to wake up, stop being led by weak leadership. And basically that's kind of it. Be prepared to get down and get the Dems out of the federal government. So that's kind of the letter that was released there to the Metropolitan Police Department. Now, what's interesting is that email that was supposedly dropped by Matthew Livelsberger, that was sent to Sam Shoemate, is completely different from the one that was dropped by the Metropolitan Police. Could he have dropped both of them? Possibly. But what's interesting is in that same Gateway Pundit article, there's a statement from the FBI officer regarding the letter or the email that was sent to Sam, right, by Livelsberger. And here's what it says in that same report. FBI agent Spencer Evans also announced during the press conference that they have strong evidence suggesting Matthew Livelsberger authored and sent the email manifesto circulating online, which references Gravik Propulsional Systems, U.S. military misconduct, and a veiled threat of finance. And of course, the manifesto was public after Sam Shoemate published it there. So, according to sources, they say there is strong evidence that that first letter came from Livelsberger, the cyber bomber, right? The Cybertruck bomber. But here's the thing. What's really weird about the one that was sent to the Metropolitan Police Department, number one, he says, he mentions Ukraine, right? We need to get out of Ukraine. Yet there are pictures of Matt Livelsberger in a Ukrainian shirt where he's basically
My appeal to the larger channels has yielded me a Hey JB from Joey Baines. What up, Joey Baines? Thank you very much for being here. I'm just doing my thing. I don't do what Gramps does. I don't do what JujuBot does. I do JB rants, and I don't come on really anymore because I always get banned. And I don't think I'm going to get banned today because I think they're busy banning other people covering the things that I won't cover. Because frankly, I already know what's going on there, and I'm not interested in them. So with all that being said, we're going to continue to watch Lisa Haven. I love Lisa. Hit play. Go.
Basically funding getting people over there. So it kind of contradicts itself. And then the other part was his girlfriend was posting negative anti-Trump stuff on her email. And this one contains more of a positive view on Donald J. Trump. Now, that is what has been released. That is what's coming out. I'll let you take it with a grain of salt. And especially regarding the email, I'll let you decide where that lies. But that's all the information I have from now.
See, here's what I've stubbornly never learned as a YouTube broadcaster. All right. I was on for an hour. And when I went on, what's left of my subscribers who have the bell notification on, right? They were in here. Like I had Sunil and I had a couple other people and I had one troll, but I love trolls. Hang out. I don't give a fuck if you're trolling. You're not going to hurt me. But then I decided to, I'm like, holy shit, I can't talk to zero. I only have, even though my work isn't really busy right now, and I have way too much free time for what it's worth. Hello, Miss Lucy. Miss Lucy and I've been together, I think, on the internet since 2016 anyway. That's a long time. So thank you, Miss Lucy, for being here. But what had to happen is I went into Gramps and I went into JujuBot on Rumble and I said, yo, I'm live. And all of a sudden people show up. So it's like, I forgot what I learned when I was 16, 17, 18, 19, touring in a band, putting up, back then it was paper flyers on flagpoles and handing out cards, come see us at this show. Advertising works. And I just kind of forgot that. So thank you so much, everyone, for showing up here. Oh, I think Steve 420 is here somewhere too. Steve Bow. Yes. You got to give a heads up before you go live. I know. I don't do that. Now, I'm going to be doing that from now on, period. The reason I'm going to be doing that is so I'm not just yelling at the wall. But what we're going to do is keep watching Lisa Haven. And when I do a live stream, it's just the stuff that I like to watch. It could even be Gordon Ramsay Kitchen Nightmares videos. But I've got my guitar, you know. We can do some of that later on. But for now, we're watching Lisa Haven. I just love Lisa Haven. And we're going to keep watching her. Hit play. Go.
Now regarding all of that, but wanted to share it with you. Very interesting stuff. Anyhow, I love you all. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.
Gabapentin is bringing you closer to amputation. These are 3 symptoms that are signaling that you could be close.
Ugh, commercials, but at least the video was over. Miss Lucy says, I don't go on Rumble. My question to Miss Lucy would be, why not? Rumble is sort of the haven. I mean, we just watched Lisa Haven, but it's the for whatever YouTube decided to, and let's be honest, it was all about the thing in the arm. People weren't allowed to talk about it. Everyone went to Rumble, and Rumble exploded in popularity. And now it's, to me, the streaming platform of just total freedom. I understand why people don't love hanging out at Rumble because it's not as apparently social. It's not as, I don't even know the words to use. It's, YouTube has cornered the market in terms of social media, period. And I will give YouTube that. Whether they achieved those means due to nefarious activities, and blocking other streaming platforms, I don't know. But I do know that there's a lot of people on Patreon, which I don't even know how Patreon works. I don't have anything to do with it. I've never made content that has to do with Patreon, but there's a reason that they've exploded in popularity, and there's a reason that Rumble has exploded in popularity, because YouTube won't let us say the fucking things that we want to say. You know what I mean? I don't need to say anything here because the chat is taking care of itself. Yes, Miss Lucy. Yes, Steve Boshakis. Ah, cool. All right, very nice. So now that some people are here, let's fuck around a little bit. And by the way, if you leave, I really don't care. Again, I don't take any donations. I don't take any money. I don't want likes. I don't want any of that stuff. I just, I feel a little bit less alone. And I'm trying to, every single day, I'm trying to like stay away from the fact that I just knocked myself out with weed, which Steve Boshakis knows, I guess. Steve 420 knows about. I have one gummy left, and I want to sort of not take it tonight. I probably will take it tonight, but they have a 2 for $30 sale at the legal pot shop on Tuesdays, Sundays, and Thursdays, but I'm not going to go there right now. So it is what it is. Anyway, let's play some other stuff that I like. This is what I like to do. I just like to figure out how to share screen and play things that I like to watch. Let's see here. Whoa, I didn't see this.
Amazon hates this, but there's nothing they can do to stop it. There's a new intelligent drone shaking up the photography industry, and it's so advanced, even the U.S. Product Safety Commission.
They are setting the atmosphere in the state.
Is it not strange to anyone? So I just found the video that I wanted to play for us so we can all watch and discuss and whatever. Is it not weird that the very drones that no one knew existed, all of a sudden, right when I click on this video, that those drones are featured in like a fucking ad? Come on. They're laughing at us. They're laughing at us. I still want to know what they are, but they're laughing at us. Hit play. Go. Let me read the comments first. Oh, Miss Lucy is worried about the so-called storm. Yeah, there's someone on the internet that I no longer associate with anymore for personal reasons and also tons of other reasons. But there was one thing that we agreed on, is that him, so I've isolated that, and you guys don't know him at all. but and his audience doesn't know me at all. But I put out there, I threw it out on the table. I said, so you think all weather, I already knew my answer internally, and I threw it out on the table and I go, so you think all weather is manipulated and controlled? And he said, yes. And I said, yes, I agree as well. So at this point, I operate, so I say that to say this. I say that to mean this. When I talk about the weather, JB rants. So when you see me talk about the weather, understand that my brain and my eyes and my ears and all my senses and my research and my knowledge is coming, whether I'm right or wrong. I know I'm right. You can judge whether I'm right or wrong. That's up to you. We're all adults. But I literally believe that all weather is controlled and has been controlled for a long time. That includes good weather, that includes bad weather, that includes tornadoes, hurricanes, snowstorms, blizzards, tsunamis, because I include tsunamis in weather. Earthquakes, I include that in weather as well. Everyone thinks that weather is atmospheric. I think that they're all interrelated, and I just happen to believe that they are all interconnected and weaponized against humanity by what loosely most of us who have two fuck brain cells to rub together, we call the New World Order. And yes, I do believe that there are people up there metaphorically twisting the knobs and doing things and going, we're going to put this hurricane here and we're going to create this drought there, and this is how we're going to do it, and we're going to use the chemtrails and everything involved. And I don't know specifically how it works, but what I do know is that the weather is not natural, and the skies, when I was a kid, I don't want to go on a rant. I want to let Alex Jones rant, because I haven't seen this yet. Yes, Joey Baines. Berger was a drone expert, and what I also know is that him and the New Orleans alleged fucker and also the attempted Mar-a-Lago assassin all attended the same military academy. Is that noteworthy, or is that just something that people should ignore? And if anyone wants to call me a fucking conspiracy theorist, go look that up. They're all related in terms of the same military academy. Berger from out there, the New Orleans attacker, and the attempted quote-unquote assassin at Mar-a-Lago all attended the same fucking military academy. But I'm just a conspiracy theorist. I mean, these things don't matter. Why would... Who spends their time sitting around just thinking about these things that don't exist? Look it up. Fort Bragg, correct. For those who don't know what Joey's talking about, everyone in my audience knows what Joey's talking about, but for those who watch this later, PSYOPs is psychological operations, meaning military operations where they work on the mind. They work on the mind. Before bullets and guns and bombs, they work on the mind. Way more powerful weapon. Much more powerful weapon. Hit play. Go. Alex, take it away. I haven't seen this yet.
Stage. Either the 19th, when Trump's having the...
By the way, I hate to interrupt my own broadcast to say this. I'm a very, very straight guy, all right? I'm not dating right now because I don't have enough money, and that's a long story, and blah, blah, blah. But Alex Jones, can you believe how good this guy looks? He looked like a potato 2 years ago. Now he's this like fit, fierce looking motherfucker. I love it. I love it. Alex Jones, you look great. Hit play. Go.
Having that big event that he's announced at that hockey center there in DC. I'm not saying it's going to happen by exposing it. It won't. Because the globalists, if something spotlighted to a big enough audience, won't do it. We have the initiative. We've got the public waking up. People aren't asleep anymore. So clearly, as I predicted before he won, and I said after he won, is when
Joey noticed too. Yeah, the dude lost like 50 fucking pounds. He was looking bad. And he's obviously dyed his beard. My beard's going gray. That's why I shave it off. I look better with a clean shaven face anyway, but if I choose to wear a beard again, I'm going to dye it like Alex Jones. But yeah, the dude lost like fucking at least, maybe not 50, but at least 40 fucking pounds. Good on Alex Jones. I love Alex Jones. Alex Jones is the reason you're watching me right now, by the way. Just so you know. I'm going to stop sucking his balls, but Alex Jones woke me up in 2000, and he is the reason that you're watching me do a show like this. And I can call it a show because I actually have an audience. Thank you all for showing up. Hit play. Go.
when they'd escalate. They did it within 11 days, as I predicted. And so now this really ups the threat on the DEFCON with these two events happening and the subsequent cover-up. I mean, all of this is all the telltale signs of a PSYOP.
All right, welcome back. The CDC says the country is dealing with high levels of respiratory illnesses. On the list, COVID, the flu, RSV. The agency estimates at least 3 million people have become sick so far this year. 11 states have high levels of respiratory illnesses. One state, New Hampshire, is reporting very high levels, emergency room visits for all three viruses.
If you stop driving at night because of vision problems, try this simple ice hack with water before bed and watch your vision.
Norovirus is the worst. I swear, is the worst illness I had in years.
I feel that.
Norovirus cases are on the rise this holiday season. 91 outbreaks were reported nationwide during the week of December 5th. That's roughly 24 more compared to the last week of November last year. But the numbers don't tell the whole story because health departments aren't forced to report cases of norovirus. So we really don't have great numbers. Meantime, norovirus is the top cause of foodborne illness with roughly 2,500 outbreaks reported each year. And it is bad. It's yucky.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Actually, we do need reporting, good reporting on this so we can give you a number and tell you where it's stronger and higher.
This morning, medical experts are warning about a norovirus outbreak hitting several states. The CDC reports more than 90 cases confirmed in the first week of December.
Thank you all for staying here, by the way, because like I said, I'm not doing an official show, and I actually had to go to Gramps, and I'm going to do that every time from this point on. Maybe... Holy shit. You guys don't even know. Some of you know. Steve Boshakas knows. And I think I'm just reading through the chat. Yeah, probably only Steve Boshakas remembers. Back in 2015, 2016, before they did all the fuckery on the internet with the censorship, I would go on. I would have like hundreds of people in the chat. And only a few mods. And the trolls would go crazy, and it was basically just a party, and I would be shit-faced the whole time, and it was really cool. And what was awesome about it is we ended up getting Trump elected over Hillary Clinton. And I think I was a part of that. I really do. The house phone is ringing. I'm going to go check this out. I'll be right back. Do they sound like the CIA? Oh. No, that's their... Yeah. No, And back in these times, it was very easy to become popular on the internet if you, believe it or not, if you supported Donald Trump, because people were so encouraged to not support that. So you were automatically sort of like the rebel, this and that. And then they changed everything after Trump won. They made you like the devil. So you went from the rebel to the devil. Once Orange Man Bad won in 2016, which he was not supposed to win. It was supposed to be, for those of you who have followed me for any significant amount of time, I only became a significant or a meaningful personality on the internet during 2015, 2016. But I was around in 14, 13, dabbled in UFOs and stuff like that, and didn't really know how to live stream, and didn't know how to talk to an audience, and didn't know how to monitor a chat, and didn't know how to do any of that stuff. Talking about bases on Mars, which might be very real, or Mars might not exist, because I'm a budding flat earther, which pisses a lot of people off, so I don't even go there on my channel anymore, because there's no reason to. I focus now on politics. Anyway, that was as pure of a rant as I could conceive. Hit play, go. Oh, I actually, see, that's what happens when I rant. I forgot the point I was going to make. You see these things that they do that I'm playing right here, where they scare the population with all those, like, because no one likes the hospital, no one likes injections, no one likes any of that stuff. So they scare people, and they show all the vials and them taking the gauze strips and Q-tips and whatever, and like dipping them in things. It's all theater. You think that's actual video from fucking hospitals? It's none of that. It's all theater. They bring in actors. It's like a music video. I've been a musician. You think a music video, when you're filming it, is you, unless it's a live video, do you think a music video is you and your other bandmates playing and singing live? No, they're filming something, and then they put in the pre-recorded, polished audio and vocals and everything over it, transpose it, and then you get a producer that makes it look all perfect, and you've all got the makeup and the whatever, and put it out to the audience, because that's easy for your customer base, for them to like, oh, I want to be a part of this, I want to go to that show. These fuckers, they're like showing gauzes and little vials of nonsense, and then you see the screen all around go, virus killing, virus killing, virus killing, virus killing. And the scrolls on the bottom are they actually go this way, because everything is opposite, because I'm on camera. Virus kills all these, virus kills all, China, 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 Malaysia, 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 coming to US, coming to US. How about go fuck yourself? I don't care if this disease comes. I'm still not taking your vaccine. How's that? You assholes. Hit play. Go.
December alone. That's more than double the cases we've seen that same week over the last 3 years.
I hate to say this, but it feels like 2020 all over again. Overflowing hospitals and thousands of patients with flu-like symptoms. China is facing a new health crisis, a new disease outbreak, which looks a lot like the Wuhan virus.
Just so you know, there are thousands of patients across the world. Thousands of patients. Go fuck yourself.
And as always, Beijing is sharing no information. They're calling it a pneumonia of unknown origin.
The CDC says the bird flu has mutated as a 65-year-old patient in Louisiana is suffering the nation's first severe infection.
Dr. Wen, is bird flu in humans super dangerous?
Well, the World Health Organization estimates that in prior outbreaks of the bird flu, that the mortality rate is 52%. 52%. However, in this most recent outbreak, it seems that most cases have been mild, and maybe some people even have asymptomatic infection.
And it's not there, but California worries me because of all the spread in cattle in California.
I'm not going to go throw up. What I am going to go do, I want to go throw up. But if you guys choose to stay here for about 2.5 to 5 minutes while I go smoke a full nicotine tobacco cigarette with a filter, just so I can decompress, because I am a nicotine addict, I am a smoker, just so I can decompress from this bullshit, I'm just going to leave this bullshit playing. And if you guys are all gone when I get back, that's totally cool. I'm not monetized. I don't care. I like everyone here. I love all of y'all being here. I think I provide a unique opportunity for a sort of show that isn't just running Fox. By the way, Gramps is my fucking mentor. I love Gramps. And I love JujuBot. If I try to run those channels, I get taken down immediately. So I do my own thing from time to time. It's just I get taken down a lot. That's why I don't do it a lot. But it seems like I have an audience on this rainy Sunday up here in Boston, Massachusetts. And y'all are here, and everyone seems to be enjoying. So I really appreciate y'all hanging out, but I don't need you to be here. And hopefully when I get back from polluting my lungs and body with poison from smoking tobacco, y'all be here. But I'm going to keep playing what I have on in the background just so maybe it will inspire. I got to plug the computer in. I'm old enough to say, when I was a kid, I've never had money really. And I certainly don't have money now, but I've had a few dollars a couple times in my life. And I was able to buy laptops. Come on, fucker. Get in there. There you go. All right, so we're plugged in. I was able to buy laptops that at least the battery would last. It wouldn't go from 100 to having to charge it in like 2 hours. So I think perhaps my laptop needs a new battery, which is annoying in and of itself because I have to delete all my porn before I send it to the shop. Not like Hunter Biden porn, just like guy porn. You know what I mean? But I'm going to hit play. I'll be right back and continue the show. Thank you guys so much. Named individually, Steve Boshakis, Joey, Sunil, and anyone I missed. Very cool that you're here. And I'm going to try to... we'll go a little bit deeper when I get back. We'll go a little bit deeper into the news and do some actual rants. The rants that scare people, you know?
California. That's absolutely unprecedented, and that's why we have a level of alert here, and we need to be vigilant.
Concerning news from the CDC. The agency says H5N1 bird flu samples collected from a severely ill patient in Louisiana showed signs of mutation, differing from the samples collected from backyard flock believed to have infected the man.
we can actually show our viewers some of these numbers here. Now, confirmed total reported human cases in the United States, you can see it across the dairy herds, poultry farms, and then one other animal. Not a huge number there, but obviously troubling. What do you make of it?
Let's start with that mutation. How does that work, and is there cause for concern tonight?
Well, thanks for having me.
Sure.
And what we know from this case in Louisiana is that this patient, when they sequenced the virus, they noted that there were mutations that could potentially make this virus more susceptible to human transmission, so easily transmitted from person to person. Now, that said, there's some really important news here, and that is they sequenced the virus that was found in the backyard flock of birds and the virus from this person. And those birds did not have a mutation that showed any kind of adaptation to humans. So really this happened in that person. And we think that's really important because it means that what's circulating in the birds is actually not something that's transmissible from person to person at this point. So that's really the important piece of news here. Now, that said, there was some data that suggests that this strain is only a few mutations away from becoming transmissible. So good to keep our eye on it.
Let me sort this out for you, Griffin. I've talked to top officials at CDC over the past week about this. There's two different types of bird flu out there. The one in the dairy cattle that you're seeing, 866 herds already, 660 in California. That's the type called B313. Fancy name, but what it means is when it actually infects humans, it's mild. The symptoms have been mild across the board in that particular subtype. Now, we have to monitor that because it's spreading a lot among the dairy cattle, and it's spreading through milk machines, through milking, and occasionally it gets to a farm worker. We have to figure out a way to control that. The second type is in the poultry, which we've seen for 2 decades now. And occasionally we've seen a mutation, D1.1 it's called, where you get a very severe illness, much more severe than you get with the dairy cattle, generally in the type in birds. But now they're seeing something where in the last 2 patients, one in British Columbia, one in Louisiana, where it actually got into upper airways fairly easily. That's what we are concerned about. But the good news is they know where the 2 got it from. The one in Louisiana got it from a backyard bird, and there's no sign of any spread whatsoever.
The infected person was hospitalized after coming in contact with sick and dead birds on their property, though the CDC says the mutations were not found in those animals. Since March, more than 60 milder cases have also been identified in the U.S. Nearly all infected worked on dairy or poultry farms. This month, California Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency over the virus.
Hi, Griff. The CDC says a genetic analysis indicated that a mutation of the virus was discovered inside a Louisiana patient. This person contracted the first severe case of H5N1 in the nation. The patient is one of the 66 confirmed bird flu cases in humans in 10 states across the U.S., including California, Michigan, and Texas. There was no evidence that the Louisiana patient passed the illness to anyone else. Health experts say the genetic analysis from the Louisiana patient indicates the virus evolved in a way that can make it more transmissible to humans because it more easily binds to the cell receptors in the upper respiratory tract. Nearly all of the 66 confirmed human cases involve people who were infected after working on dairy or poultry farms. California has had at least 650 dairy farms with cows infected with the bird flu, more than any other state.
Have you heard about the salt trick that's making men stay hard for hours in bed? I thought it was going to be just another quick night, but my husband surprised me and drove me crazy for 3 straight hours. It was incredible. A simple mix of 2 ingredients made him stay hard for hours, and even added up to 5 inches. And the best part? According to over 12,000 testimonials, this formula works even better for men over 40. It doesn't matter your age, medical condition, or how severe the problem is. This solution is for you. With just 1 morning dose, any man can transform. No need for doctor appointments or specialists. Oh, how I wish my husband John had known about this trick years ago. We could have avoided so many fights and embarrassing moments. John spent years struggling to keep an erection, and his size was always on the smaller side. Now that's all in the past. I feel like the most fulfilled wife in the world. All thanks to this simple mix he uses just once a day. His size grew so much, and he's so hard that I spend my whole day thinking about our unforgettable nights. And the best part? I didn't even notice he was doing it. It's so discreet that I only found out months later. Forget pills and pumps. This easy trick will make your man rock solid naturally, without leaving the house. This 15-second salt trick increases blood flow to your member by 342%. All you have to do is this 15-second trick, and you'll see the magic happen. It's been used by top adult actors for the past 5 years to stay rock hard. Plus, no matter your age, you'll always be ready for action and wake up with a tent pitched. Want to see how it works? I've got a free video that shows you the step-by-step process you can do at home. Click the Learn More button below and watch while it's still online. Tomorrow you'll wake up with a tent already pitched.
The Bali Breathe collection is available at Kohl's. The new collection features everyday bras, underwear, and shapewear that provide breathable comfort, lightweight support, and beautiful lace details.
If you have been sick with this, I'm sending you all my love because it's no joke.
Tell us the truth.
And I just want true coverage and fair coverage of everybody. Tell the truth. Be fair. I think they need to be more honest.
Accuracy and being for the people, not for themselves.
I think, American people want to hear the truth, and sometimes that isn't what they're hearing.
Norovirus is the worst. I swear, is the worst illness I had in years. Worse than strep. Like, this is just hurtful, painful nightmare. I woke up this morning and I didn't felt right, but I was still a functioning human being. I even did 2 TikToks. I cleaned the house, but I was like, something is wrong. Like, my belly didn't felt right, and I just thought I ate something weird.
The fog situation keeps on getting stranger and stranger. This video was taken of a complete blanket of fog coming over this town. And some people are saying that some of the videos are just snow and it's not actual fog. Well, you can take a look at this video here where the woman turns on her light in the same area she was already in, and it's not snow, it's caused by the fog. Strange particles just floating around, acting and behaving not like normal fog. But I think the strangest thing that we have seen so far is this next video. This occurred yesterday in Texas. This is a woman's pool. She woke up to it this morning. She's had a pool for years. I've had a pool, and many people that have pools have never seen anything like this. She hadn't added new chemicals, changed anything about the water. The only difference is that there's been fog pouring in every morning and orbs and drones in her area. This is a close-up shot, and as I've mentioned in the past, though there's no facts to back this, people are calling it a chemical fog. Mysterious fog has been seen all over the United States at early hours of the morning, and people are getting concerned. Like in this video here, you can see there's all kinds of little particles floating around, and it doesn't act or smell like normal fog. People are concerned that it might be chemical fog. 40 states have reported seeing this fog, and here you can see it kind of looks a little bit more like normal fog. That's because it's being lit by the light in the sky. But when it's darker and you use a flashlight, then you can see it's little particles that are floating around. It doesn't usually come at night, but only in the early hours of the morning, like from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. And people are saying it's happened in cities where they've seen the drones flying around, and they're kind of concerned that it has something to do with it. But I think the thing that's concerning most people is the fact that it has a very distinct and weird smell, sort of like chemicals. Dense fog is one thing, but when they introduce a new smell, that raises reason for concern. But it's this video right here that I find the most frightening because those particles do not look normal to me.
Tonight on Kitchen Nightmares, Gordon goes to New Jersey and somehow ends up in the tropics. But this is no paradise. This part jungle, part restaurant is in deep financial trouble. And what makes matters worse, it is run by a Category 5 storm.
Girls, shut your mouth already.
Named Adele, who is not fond of her staff.
Isabel, you don't know when to shut up.
Who is disappointed by her chef.
You just started. I don't even know how you cook.
But the person who drives her nuts.
How can you be positive?
Sorry about that, guys. I have no control over what YouTube brings up. Sorry about that. But I do have a serious question to ask here.
Wealthfront offers a cash account that has one. Of the highest interest rates on the market.
If I send my money to Wealthfront, I know that it's being taken care of.
Knowing that it is gaining interest, just sitting there is huge.
I have real.
Enough.
And tells us what to expect. So yeah, maybe these people that are getting these guys involved are working off of the same playbook. Let's have this dude.
YouTube
write a manifesto
thank you.
that says that these drones are going to knock off the East Coast. And it's like, wait a minute. That even became the top story on ZH. Okay. So this is, I'm not just making this up. It's so freaking crazy, you guys, because we were told to expect all these things. Time to wake up. Cybertruck dude had several manifestos and warned of drones using gravitic propulsion. And they say gravatic. I don't know if he misspelled it or not. But anyway, gravitic propulsion. Whoa, whoa.
Pause. I need to address Stephen Boshakas. Steve Bo 420. Thanks to Tim Kennedy and Sean Ryan, we got Navy SEAL type drama in the Army YouTube community. What a bunch of crap. I agree. I was confused by it, and that's why I'm not commenting on it. I want to absorb everyone else's comments on things that I have zero personal experience within. Hit play, go.
Whoa. And you guys are shooting me money like crazy. I guess I got to honor this. I don't want to let this go. So we got Justine Joy, QHHT. Do you think it is safe to attend the Conscious Life Expo next month? Yes, I do. I would, if they invited me, I might still go, but I don't know. It's a wild event, man. I'm kind of in recovery from having done that.
Steve Boshakis did a facepalm for me. I'm not sure why. I'm sorry if I didn't deliver. Hit play. Go.
For so long. Eva, should we take our money out of the bank before June 25? What do you advise we do with our money in the bank? No, I've said this before. Do not take your money out of the bank. That's called a bank run. That would be a criminal. It would be a criminal offense for me to tell people on this show to do that. And I don't even want you to. But what I do want you to do is not go for paperless billing. They got to keep sending me paper statements because that way I can prove I got it. If something gets reset, I've got a receipt. It's a hard copy. It's dated. It's postmarked. And it's like, boom, there's how much I got. That's how much I'm supposed to have. Will you please let me access this? You might need that. Okay, so
Steve Bo, can you specifically say what those streams are, if you don't mind? And Joey Baines, thank you for the LOL and also for the comment. Hit play, go.
Leave your money in the bank. That's my advice. Linda Clower, I mean, you have a little bit of cash for whatever reason, but you don't need more than $5,000 at the most, I think. Anyway, Chanthia Hanasana says, I like Elon. Chantha Hanasana, I like Elon, but I don't trust him. A billionaire with an agenda. I believe he is evil. Sure, he helps T. Why wouldn't he? T is a winner. AI, chip in the brain, mark of the beast, etc. She's got 13 thumbs up. I guess that shows you where people's heads are at. Total Todd says, you are the best, David. Thank you. It's so fun to talk to you guys, and I love that. Who has $5,000? Ha, 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 says T. Ehlers. I get that. You know, I'm just saying that if you are going to try to stockpile money, 5 is absolutely going to get you through a long time. So even 2, I mean, I only end up spending, $200 around, maybe.
Hit pause. I guess my blanket answer to Steve and Joey and everyone in the chat, and thank y'all so much for being here, is that I've been, again, people keep asking me, why do you always say that you're 40? Well, 40 is a big age for me, and 30 was a big age for me. And I've been doing this since age 19. So I've been doing this for a long, long, long time, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on in the world, right? And this is not a defensive scratch. My neck is actually itching. And luckily, I bite my nails so they're rough enough that when I scratch an itch, I destroy the itch. And end up sometimes leaving a blood trail. But when I started figuring out what was going on, I started off with 2012 and the aliens. And during that period, which was 2008, 2009, most of the interviewees, Project Camelot, I'm sure a lot of my audience, dare I say I have an audience, which I do, a small audience, but an audience nonetheless, know exactly who Carrie Cassidy and Project Camelot are. And Bill Ryan, which was part of that and then split away, which is fine. But they were interviewing top military officials, legitimate top military officials, who were saying that they have seen things that they can't explain, either in the air or on the ground or undersea. And apart from that, some of them claimed to have had physical contact. Bob Dean, Corporal Robert Dean, Bob Dean, saying that he's been on ships and had physical encounters with extraterrestrial entities. Now, I'm going to save all my flat earth stuff for a whole other video. I myself am a flat earth believer. Most people don't know what real flat earth is. And when you start talking about that, it derails the entire conversation. So that's why I'm going to just say this right now and then cut, paste, and put it into a whole other live stream in the future. Assuming I'm ever allowed to live stream again. YouTube. But this man claims to have met extraterrestrials and says that they're literally typically human. I've watched that video so many times, I think I can quote him. Colonel, I think I said Corporal earlier. I meant Colonel Robert Dean. Bob Dean. Bob Dean said they're typically human. They're male and female. They could wear a suit. They could wear a dress. And you'd basically never know the difference. And that makes the most sense to me. It really makes the most sense to me. But anyway. Hit play. Go.
Be 200, 220 when I go to the grocery store. So, $5,000 would last me for months with the things I just need to survive. So, yeah, I don't think this is going to be a problem. Again, we talk about things that kind of sketch you out here, but we do it with hair, and we do it with fun, and we do it with the perspicacity. Ooh, you like that? To make sure the job gets done. That's right. I'm dropping some Dr. Greer level words on you because we just had him up on screen, and he uses words like dispositive, which I had to look that up. What the hell does dispositive mean? Oh, it means it's going to win the case. We have dispositive evidence, he says. It's like, okay, the evidence is going to blow through and get disclosure going. I had to look that one up. But I'm glad I did because he expanded my own vocabulary so I can be pedantic as well if that's what I choose to do. Gravitic propulsion? Oh my gosh.
He's going into
Kurt
gravitic
says,
propulsion.
Big fan of yours for a long time. Thanks
Right.
for streaming these.
Before Mr. Davey goes too far, I want to go through Steve Bow. When somebody steps on their dick, you don't have to join them and do it yourself. So some guy lies in his book. Let him drink his own Kool-Aid, and you don't have to dogpile on him to make yourself feel better. Laughing my ass off, it's not flat, it's more Captain America's shield surrounding it. Shield surrounded a bit. Okay. Like I said, Steve, I'm going to do a Flat Earth podcast specific on that in the future. Because most people, including you apparently, don't know what Flat Earth actually is. And I don't expect you to. Hit play. Go.
I really do appreciate it. Moon Bunny says, wow, slow-mo stops you even when you're not commenting frequently. Sucks. I can't even interact. I'm out. I don't think that's true. It might be something to do with your system. I'm sorry about that. All that slow-mo does is it means that we would otherwise have aggressive trolls who post every half a second or so. So all it means is you just got to wait 60 seconds before you hit send on each text.
Maybe I should just do the Flat Earth argument now. Because Steve doesn't want to give it up. And it seems like Joey Baines is interested. And anyone can go and rewatch David Wilcock. He goes on every Sunday at this time. And he goes on for like 4 fucking hours. So should we just do Flat Earth now? Let's just do it. All right. I'm going to make the executive decision. I'm going to do Flat Earth now. And then I'm going to take a nap. And we can have some fun with this. All right. So here's the deal. When I was a kid, like I used to say to all the girls I dated for why I was like, I mean, I'm 5'3". I'm not the tallest guy in the world, right? But I was always relatively, I guess, good looking. But I was bullied a lot and I was a nerd. And yet I always had pretty girlfriends. And these girls would test me and stuff, even through college. And they would test me and they would like say things like, why are you so weird, this and that. And my only answer I could come up with really was, well, when all the other guys were focused on baseball and football, I was focused on microscopes and telescopes. And this is a quote. I've said this in job interviews. So, like, this is as probably deeply personal as you'll ever hear me share on my show on the internet. That's an actual quote. They were focused on baseball and football, and I was focused on microscopes and telescopes. I was obsessed with outer space. I was obsessed with parameciums and taking pond water when I was 10, 11, even 15 or 8, putting it under the microscope and looking into the internal structures of microbes, even my own blood. I used to prick my own finger and look at my own blood. Some people would even call that, now that I know what I know, and what a lot of people like you all know what you know now, would probably even call that an occultic practice. I didn't know that as a kid. I'm like, well, if I can see parameciums and volvox and cilia and all these crazy life forms under the microscope, I want to look at my own blood. But at the same time, when they say as above, so below, I'm not trying to get too esoteric here. I'm just telling you why I'm a fucked up individual, because I didn't. Everyone at school is, oh, you see football game, football. I didn't even know what it was. I like that stuff now. As an adult, I like watching sports. But back then, that's what they wanted societally for children to be, as it were, I suppose. So I would always look into outer space. I even was graced with the opportunity by my dad taking me, I think I was like 11, there's a number, to the planetarium, of which on top they had an observatory with very powerful telescopes. And I was able to see the rings of Saturn and this and that. And I saw the rings of Saturn. And I saw this blurry little thing that's allegedly, hundreds of millions of miles away. And I did see the rings. I saw them with my own eyes. So take that record, and you know how the record, like you scratch a record, like it stops, like zzz, that sound. So take that record sound and apply that to my life as a 33 to 40-year-old. When I heard about flat Earth, and I said to somebody, because I was still live streaming back then, not still back then, that's an improper English. I was currently back then live streaming, and I would have people come in and say, JB, have you looked into the fact that the Earth is flat? And I would say, fuck you. You are retarded. I will not talk to you. And then when I got really aggressive, I would say to them, you're a disinfo agent. You're trying to pollute my channel talking about 2 planes do not knock down 3 buildings and no one died at Sandy Hook, which no one died at Sandy Hook, by the way. Hey, YouTube, take me down for that. Oh, you can't take me down for that because it's a fucking fact, dumbasses. It was a movie. And that, yes, they were all in on it. And yes, all the families were in on it. And yes, it was about gun control. And yes, it failed. It failed big time. But, so I'm doing that stuff. And I have people coming in yelling at me about flat earth. And I'm just going, fuck you, get out of here. Just like Dave Weiss, Flat Earth Dave. I was doing the same thing, probably at the same time. Maybe even earlier than Dave Weiss. But I never looked into flat earth because I just refused to. I go, with all the crap I'm dealing with, I can't put my mind around the fact that the earth is, so you got Mercury, you got the sun, and you got Mercury, ball, Venus, ball, Earth, dinner plate floating in space, Mars, ball, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and demoted planet Pluto. I go, this is the dumbest thing ever. It's a government conspiracy. But then I discovered that the Flat Earth Society, which I had researched, said exactly all that nonsense. But then I came upon real flat Earth. What real flat Earth is completely not only different from that, but destroys the entire solar system model. What actual flat Earth is that Earth is a plane, a level plane that we have no idea how big it is. Zero idea how big it is. That is domed, called the firmament, which is why I knew that no one ever went to the moon. I just knew that we never went. The moon landing footage is the stupidest cartoon garbage when you watch it with adult eyes. If you believe that we went to the moon based on those videos, and you like my channel, and you watch me, and you still believe, please leave. No offense. It's the dumbest, vomitous, fake, horrible, just it's an embarrassment. I don't even know what to say. It's a complete embarrassment. But what flat Earth actually is, and this makes a lot more sense to me, because water lays flat, oceans lay flat, lakes lay flat, ponds lay flat, is that we live on a level plane under a dome, and everything else revolves around us. It's called the geocentric model, not the heliocentric model. The heliocentric model was implemented for control by the Catholic Church thousands of years ago, or 500 years ago at least, or implemented 500 years ago at least. And if you just get in your car when you're on your way to work or on the way to this, anywhere you're going, and you look around and you look at bodies of water that lay at rest, totally flat. Of course, there's wind and things can happen, but the idea that we're whirling and twirling in a solar system. I'm using some of David Weiss's words here. Just stick with me. You don't have to agree with me. I'm just telling you because people wanted, I guess, my take on this. If you believe that there's all these planets going like this and going like this and going like this and going like this with a sun going like this, where the moon stays perfectly around our Earth, never changing its face, The only alleged celestial body that rotates around a planet and never changes its face. And when you look at the face of the moon, the quote-unquote craters, Divergent on YouTube does really good work on this, by the way. Take a look at Divergent channel. Just type in Divergent Moon Earth Reflection. I don't know if that's the specific title of the video, but it's very interesting, and it'll get you started for sure. Or at least help you start to debunk me. All right? I don't think the moon is a solid object at all. I think it's a projection of something that we don't know what it is, and it's reflecting the surface of the Earth because it just so happens that all the continents and all the oceans line up exactly with what they call the dark spots and the craters and quote-unquote continents on the moon in reverse, like a mirror image. This is not me saying this. Go look it up. Again, Divergent does many, many videos on this. And the other problem that I have with ball Earth is that we can see too far. So if you look up Dave Weiss, Flat Earth Dave, if you look him up, and he actually zooms in with a P900, very expensive camera, and zooms in on a ship on the horizon that should be something like 9 miles below the curvature of the Earth. Physically, you can see it. Physically, it's supposed to be 9 miles below the curvature of the Earth. And yet, when he zooms in, you can see the ship. He does this live. That's a problem. That's a problem for the ball Earth. So that's how I very quickly became a flat earther. And then I went back and sat comfortably in my warm seat of 9/11 and Sandy Hook, because I can break those things down into toothpicks in a second for anyone who debates me on all those problems there. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they say, well, why does it matter? You still have to go to work the next day. And I agree with Dave Weiss when he says, well, if we knew that we are actually at the center of creation and we're controlled by a small group of people, so this brings his theories and my theories right together. That if we knew that we are literally at the center of creation, and these power structures have been assigned on our heads by the evil one, people wouldn't comply with it anymore. And I started hearing that, and I go, holy shit. I look at it, and I go, damn. He's right. Steve Bow, would it make a difference if we knew? Yeah, hopefully it just did. Steve Bow, no, it's cool. Steve Bow, face. Joey Baines, sure. Joey Baines, me too. Cool. Hashtag me too. I'm going to get out of here, and thank y'all so much for showing up. And I don't know. I hope I didn't exhaust my audience too much with all my rants, but I'll see you on the next one. And I promise it'll be just as fun. Was this fun? It was fun for me. I'll see you on the next one, JB.